Hi everyone, welcome to tonight or today Sonder Social. I'm Malika. I will be kind of leading you through your weekly setup today. So thank you for dialing in. If you are new to Silk and Sonder or Sonder Socials, go ahead and type in I'm new so we can give you a big old welcome. I do recognize a lot of familiar names in the chat, so make sure to, just a reminder to those who are returning and those who are new, to set your chat to everyone. The chat is how we interact with each other for this hour. So make sure to double check that that blue toggle is set to everybody. And thanks for joining in. I am so excited. I just played Shawn Mendes's Lost in Japan because I just got back from Japan a week ago. So I'm just playing catch up on life, on work, and this back in the California time zone. So it was a really incredible experience, and I am kind of sad to be back because it was such a fun time. But life must. We have got life has to happen. We have so many things on our plates. So, speaking of, I'm glad we're spending this hour together to set up our weeks. And we'll go ahead and get started. So, let's go ahead and grab your October journals. We're almost, oh my gosh, it's October 19th. We don't have that much left in October. So, I'm excited for us to get the most out of our remaining weeks in this journal. Okay, before we get started, just as a reminder, don't forget to take that 2025 annual survey. We're wrapping up 2025 soon. So make sure to take the survey. Maya just dropped in the link in the chat, and this feedback is really going to guide on how we grow and improve Silk and Sonder. So make sure to take that survey, and yeah, it would be really, really helpful for us. So just as a quick reminder, cool. All right, and I'll quickly go through the guidelines here. Make sure to be kind and courteous to yourself and others. No promotions or spam. Respect everyone's privacy. No hate speech or bullying. Limit any repetitive product and accessory questions or customer inquiries to the team at hello@silkandsonder.com. And just remember, these Sonder socials are the way we all connect with one another and get the most out of our weekly setup pages. I feel like these weekly setups are great because this is where a lot of ideas come to fruition. I think it's really nice to see kind of how other people's have taken these sections in different directions that really best serve them and work for them and really make you feel like your most productive self. So, with that, let's talk about this month's theme of resilience. So when I think of resilience, I always think about I always think about a time where I felt like the world was kind of beating me down, and then I think about like how I was able to overcome that. So I think my 2024 was probably one of my most recent like lower points in my life. Actually, probably one of the low points in my entire life. And there was just a lot going on in my personal life, in my professional life. And it just felt like I had the weight of the world on my shoulders. And then just 1 year later, I feel like so much lighter, so much brighter and happier. And I feel like it's crazy to think through. You don't think about it in the moment that you're being resilient in necessarily, but then when you reflect back, you realize like, no, that took a lot of strength and courage to risk yourself and risk, you know, I felt like I was living in San Francisco, one of the most expensive cities in the world, on no income, and for 6 months didn't have a job. So it was a big risk that I took on myself. But I decided to just like, I had enough savings where I knew I could afford the rent and I was gonna make it work, and I made it work. So it's important to remember those times when you are resilient. And I'm excited for what's to come because you took that risk. So Thank you all for the kind words in the chat. How sweet. You guys have all been with me. You've seen me at all stages of life the past couple years, so thank you. But yeah, we'll keep that in mind for our mind map. So, speaking of, we are going to start out with our resilience mind map. For folks who are new to like the weekly setup Sonder socials, the resilience mind map is we do a mind map exercise for each of these weekly setups, and we focus on the theme of the month. And we choose like different focus areas, and we have guided questions that pertain to a different like sector or focus area for that theme. So this week's question. Oh, sorry, I just went through this here, but you might want to take a peek at this one as like kind of an overarching theme. So this month is an invitation to explore the quiet yet powerful strength that lives within you. We often think of resilience as the ability to bounce back, but it's so much more than that. It's the inner anchor that keeps you steady in a storm. The wisdom you gain from past challenges and the light you carry that can also illuminate the path for others. Our weekly prompts will guide you to look at resilience not as a destination, but as a dynamic practice. All right, so for week four, I can't believe we're already on week four, but for week four, we are diving into the question, how do I stay resilient while navigating change, challenge, or uncertainty in a real time? And the other like kind of like supplementary question. So for reflection, just remember, resilience isn't only built in hindsight, it's forged in motion. In the swirl of decisions, emotions, and unknowns, how do you access steadiness as you move forward? Are there certain things that you do when you're navigating uncertainty and challenge? Think about kind of what those are. How do you keep yourself steady? How do you keep believing in yourself when you feel like you're at your low point? And then another practice prompt, identify one real-time practice. Is it breathing? Is it taking a beat? Is it pausing? Is it asking for help from somebody who you trust? What helps you stay centered in the moment? And when did you last use it? How can you lean into it more consistently? So I will just pause here. I'll give you all some time to reflect on how you stay resilient when you're navigating uncertainty. All right. Thank you everyone for sharing in the chat and reflecting. These mind maps are always really special because we get to dive in a little bit more. We get to be quite a bit more introspective with the theme, and it's always a treat. So thank you all for sharing. Okay, we'll now move forward to our rosebud thorn. For this week's rosebud thorn, it's going to be on page 44 of your October journals. So I'll give you some time to flip the page. And for this one, we're going to talk through our highlight, what went well, your bud, what is something that you're looking forward to, and your thorn, what is a challenge. So I will reflect. I always like to share my rosebud thorn with all of you. And it's something I like to think through for every Sunday evening. So my rose is I finally finished decorating my beautiful apartment. It took me so long to style my console table and my entryway. And it is beautifully styled. I found my last few accessories from Home Goods yesterday. I found an amazing art piece, and it is gorgeous. So I am fully done. My beautiful bachelorette pad with the city views is completely done. So I'm very excited. And then my bud is I'm cautiously optimistic about my romantic life. And we will see what pans out, but you never know with early stages. My thorn is I feel like work has really been stressful. I got back from Japan and it just felt like there were like a million things that they needed me to do, and I feel like we're so behind on a lot of our deadlines, and I'm just like very stressed about it. I try to compartmentalize in the weekend. So I'm okay right now, but as soon as Monday morning hits, it just feels like there's like a ton of bricks. So I need to just manage. So it really impacts my anxiety and my sleep and my energy levels throughout the week. So that is kind of my thorn right now. But I will give you all some time to reflect on your rosebud thorn, and let me know in the chat what is going well, what you're looking forward to, and what's a challenge that you've been struggling with. All right. Thank you all for sharing your rosebud thorns. It's always nice to get a peek into your lives, and just kind of read through. I always love reading through. And just remember, like, sometimes those thorns feel really big, and sometimes what we're dealing with is really stressful. And it's always good to identify what that challenge is so that you can go into your new week, really making sure that you are figuring out how to best address those challenges that we face. So, without further ado, we will now move forward with what you all are here for, which is the weekly setup. So, go ahead and flip the page to page 46, and we will get started. Oops, sorry. And it's on the floor. Um, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. So the first question is sorry, not question. The first box that we're gonna do is this week I want to feel. You can choose a word, it can be a phrase. Think about what that term is for you. What is your intention for the week? What is going to guide you through your week? Go ahead, write it down and type it in the chat. I want you to tell me how you want to feel. I wrote focused. Other people are writing patience, grounded, energetic, courageous, calm, healthy, positive, wonder, productive, patient, accomplished, calm, apple, everything. I love it. Mindful, healthy, breathe, certain disciplines, consistent, enough, connected, grounded, hopeful, enthusiastic, refreshed, productive, and organized, God, satisfied, decisive, energized, cozy, capable, aligned, refreshed. Amazing, powerful intentions, everybody. I wish I could come up with a word that encompassed all of that. So thank you. I know, I feel like I said focused, but actually I want to feel cozy because it's about to rain this week in San Francisco. So nothing makes me feel more cozy than kind of a rainy week. So with that, we will now move forward to our weekly major three goals. So it's just that box underneath. Oops, sorry, guys. All right, there we go. So the weekly major three goals are really those three goals that you want to write out for the week. So it can be affiliated with your intention of how you want to feel. It can be any goals that maybe you want to get done. It can be anything. So think about those three things that you want to accomplish this week. Are there certain goals that come to mind? Maybe there's a personal challenge you have for the week. If maybe there's a goal that you had last week that just like didn't get done. So what can you do to make sure that that goal gets done this week? Maybe you want to reframe that goal or rephrase that goal. So yeah, think about what those goals are for you. I'll give you all some time to write out your goals and then we'll move on to the to-do section next. All right. Thank you all for sharing your major three goals. We will now move forward to the to-do section, which is to the box to the left. So for the weekly to-do section, it can definitely be a bulleted list. That's often how I use it, or I use check boxes actually, because I like to check the box. But you can also restructure it. And sometimes I do this for my to-do list as well if I want to switch it up. So the first option that I'll walk you through is this Eisenhower matrix. It's a great way to prioritize your to-do list so you can identify what's important and what's urgent. And each of these boxes represent kind of what do you need to actually do, what decisions you need to make, what are some things that you can delegate, and what are things you need to delete. So, what are things that you need to remove? So, an example of things that you need to delete or remove are scrolling on TikTok or binging a TV show. Some decisions could be like things that you need to get done, but they're not really time sensitive. So maybe it's like, okay, working out or going on the Peloton or delegating could be like, okay, I need to have some chores that I need to get done. For me, unfortunately, I live alone, so I don't really have things that I can delegate. But from work stuff, I do have people that work for me, so I can delegate some decisions or tasks at work. And then the things that I actually have to do are those things that have clear deadlines, they need to get done, and they are really, really important. So, those are some options that you can use. Another example here, you can see somebody prioritize their physical, mental, and emotional to do, but they have like just three things, kept it simple, and wanted to do some action items for their health areas. You can also use these examples as well. Maybe you want to leverage the need, want, hope to-do list. It's a great way to identify kind of what you need to get done versus like what you want to get done. And then you can also, on the flip side, turn the to-do list on things not to do. So, what are things that you are doing that are not serving you? Write out what not to do. You can do that. There's also like that bingo board here if you want to gamify it a little bit and make a to-do bingo board to make it more fun. You can put like a fun fall sticker or cross it off with a marker, which could be really fun throughout your week. And then another option is categorized to-dos. So maybe you have stuff for your personal life, things you need to do at home, things you need to do at work, things you need to do in different areas. Maybe you're in school or things you need to get done at school, those different areas of your life to help you prioritize your to-do list. So yeah, so I will give you all some time to write out some of your to-dos and tell me what structure you're using this week. And then we'll move on to the habit and activity section next. All right, we'll now move on to the habit and activity tracker on the bottom of page 46. And here are some great examples of what you can do for your habit and activity section. You can use this as a place where you can fill it out. You can add the goal. It can be maybe your night routine or your morning routine. It can be any habits that you want to focus on for this week. This is oftentimes like the place where I like to keep track of my habits. I rarely use the monthly habit tracker. So for me, these habits are really important. So, and very intentional. So think about what habits you want to track. I've one example of I'm going to you do for mine is I recently like started doing Peloton again. I feel like I there was a period of time where I was doing it pretty regularly and I have not been doing it. But I have no excuse. It's in my apartment building. Right there. And it's in a room where there's like nobody else, so it's great because it's like private. And I just have no excuse. So, I'm going to start using the Peloton more. So I'm going to add that to my habit and activity section. And yeah, and then here are some great examples that I would love to talk through. So this one in the middle is one of my favorites because not only did they like just color code it, but they also added kind of metrics to it. So you can add numbers. They also sliced it in how or like kind of sectioned it off based off of their fruit and veggie intake. So there are a lot of different creative ways that you can use this habit and activity tracker. So don't feel free if you like don't feel boxed in to just like use it as like a crossing it off type of thing. It can also be used in many different ways. So feel free to get creative with it. So I'll give you all some time to write out your habit and activities, and then we'll move on to the meal plan section next. All right. We'll now move on to the next section, which is the meal plan section. So before we move on, for those of you who are new to weekly setup socials, these are sections that heavily get repurposed. So I'll walk you through a couple different ways to set up your meal plan. Here you can see a bunch of different ways that you can use it, that a lot of people take a lot of creative liberties. But of course, you can use it for its intended purpose as a meal plan if you are trying to be like really diligent about your meals for the week, or maybe you are just kind of ready for a reset, or you just want to be organized on the dinners you have planned out for the week. So you can definitely use it for that purpose. Otherwise, you can use it for a multitude of different ways. So here are some examples. You can use this for like your daily affirmations. You can use this as kind of your 7 types of rest planner. You can use this as almost like a chore chart. I love this concept of like, okay, somebody used it for cleaning, but they wanted to do it zone by zone and like so that it didn't feel like it was all in one day. So you can definitely do that. I have a studio apartment, so I don't have to deal with that. Everything is in one area, so I have to do it all in once. But other people who have homes, I'm sure it would be easier to break it up day by day. You can use this as like a wardrobe planner. Maybe you're traveling, or maybe you're getting ready for work, and you want to kind of look stylish. You can set up your um like kind of your outfits for the week. Then you can use this as a place to reflect. You can also put your appointments here. Say you have a lot of doctor's appointments, you're running around, there's just like so much on the calendar. It's a great place to put like your personal appointments. There's so many different ways you can use this. So definitely feel free to take this in any direction. It sounds like people are sharing in the chat how they use this section, which is great. Thank you so much for sharing. So I'll give you all some time to set up your meal plan, and then we'll move on to the next section, mind body health plan next. All right. We will now move on to the next two sections, which is the mind body health plan and the shopping list. And I'll give you all some time to kind of carve out both. But for the mind body health plan, this is really your section. That's your little self-care treat. That's like kind of the best way I like to explain this section. So it's really how do you give yourself that treat that you're going to look forward to each day of the week. So, is it lighting a candle? Is it calling up a friend? Is it going for your favorite walk in your neighborhood? Is it reading a book for 30 minutes? Is it taking a bath? What is that mind body health plan for you? When I was on my workout grind and I was doing a million workout classes, I would put my workout class schedule here, but unfortunately, I'm not the fit girl that I used to be. So I no longer put my workouts in the section and I just put like my treats. So, and that included baking last week when I was really stressed out. So, whatever it may be, think about kind of what that is for you. Um, a lot of people are kind of chiming in the chat like where they put what they do with the section. Some people use it for stickers, some people put their appointments in here, different things that are kind of their focus for the week. So this is a great section to repurpose as well. Feel free to do that. And then for the shopping list section, this is really a blank box, as you can see on the page. So think about what that is for you. Maybe there's a lot of things that you need to get. If you're like me and I went crazy shopping yesterday, and spent way too much money at the mall, I don't have anything more to buy. So, I will be repurposing this section. And you can use the space to put a sticker. You can use this for another bingo board. You can use this to write out a quote that really resonates with you. Think about kind of what that is for you. There's like no wrong way to use this section. And if you really want, like what I typically do to repurpose, I just put like a little sticker above the shopping list section to like cross it out and write out like what that section is used for. So think about kind of what that is for you. And I'll give you all some time to focus on your mind body health plan, however you want to set that up, and your shopping list section. And then we'll regroup for the I am loving section shortly. All right, we have a few minutes left, but I want to regroup for the I am loving section. So, everyone, just take a deep breath, get cozy in your seat, and maybe close your eyes just for a few seconds to really help visualize and identify what you're truly loving in your life. So, think about kind of what that is. We started off with the rosebud thorn, and we want to kind of wrap it with something that we are currently loving. So, what are you currently loving in your life? For me, it's really getting back into kind of my California time zone. It was really hard there for a little bit. So, I'm really loving just being back on the West Coast time zone and just feeling like a little bit more regulated in my sleep pattern and regulated in my energy levels. So, thank you all for sharing this hour. This hour just goes by so fast. And I love that we all just get to be together for an hour and just really set up these pages together. So thank you all. And then also make sure to share your pages with us in the Sonder Club app. So make sure to do that. That you can see a lot of our inspiration is from all of you. So make sure to do that. And then before we head out, don't forget to take that 2025 annual survey. Your feedback really guides how we grow and improve the experience. And Maya will drop that in the chat once again. So go ahead and take that, click that link to do that 2025 annual check-in. And another reminder, we have a really fun exclusive event coming up October 23rd. And it's all about early childhood wounds. So it's with the founder, Meha, and a special guest. So make sure to sign up for that as well. Maya dropped a link to that exclusive event social. And go ahead and sign up for that as well. So thank you all for just being with us and spending this hour with us. It's always fun to just connect with you all. And sorry, I'm like getting blinded by the sun here. But thank you all for making the time, and I will see you at the next one. Thanks, everybody.
We were both young when I first saw you. I close my eyes and the flashback starts. I'm standing there on a balcony in summer air. See the lights, see the party, the ball gowns. See you make your way through the crowd and say hello. Little did I know that you were Romeo, you were throwing pebbles, and my daddy said stay away from Juliet. And I was crying on the staircase, begging you please don't go. And I said, Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone. I'll be waiting. said, Romeo, save me. I've been feeling so alone. I keep waiting for you, but you never